Hello and welcome to a new Python tutorial. Last week we saw how to measure the speed of our code using the timeit function. Today we are going to pick up where we left off and discover another way of measuring functions. This employs a different Python module called time. So let's go ahead and import the module by writing import time as t. Then here we have a piece of code that squares all the numbers in a list and subsequently raises them to the power of 3. So let's imagine that in this case we not only want to measure the total time taken by the code, but also the time taken by each individual step. So we can integrate 3 lines into our code. The first of which will be start equals t.time. Then, after the first piece of our code is completed, we can write middle equals t.time, and finally, end equals t.time. As you can imagine, the time function contained inside the module by the same name gives us the exact time at the moment in which the function is called. So in this case we have 3 distinct times, at the beginning, the middle, and the end of our code. So to calculate the time taken by our code in each part, we can write first equals middle minus start, second equals end minus middle, and total equals end minus start. And finally, we can print these 3 values by saying print first, second, and total. If we run the code, we get that the total time taken by the code is 0.95 seconds, divided into 0.46 seconds and 0.489 seconds. Referring back to last week's tutorial, which you can find at the link above, we can say in general that the timeit function is really useful to measure fast pieces of code, for which it is more beneficial to run the code several times and then take an average. This allows you to minimize any small deviations in measurements which could otherwise distort your evaluation of a code's speed. On the other hand, today's method is much more suitable for a large, slow, complex piece of code, where only one or a few runs may be physically possible, and for which it is much more beneficial to also have measurements of each of the code's sections as opposed to the whole thing. This can be really useful to help you identify parts of the code which require more optimization and improvement. In general, therefore, always keep in mind your objective when selecting the best speed measurement technique to use. With that, I hope you enjoyed these videos and managed to employ these techniques to optimize your code. Should you have any trouble, then don't forget to post your questions in the comments below. As always, please don't forget to help out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. As for me, I look forward to seeing you all again next week, and until then, happy coding!